Welcome to the Ideas Board. This show is about exploring ideas, creative thinking, problem-solving mindset, leadership and communication within small businesses. I'm Aaron Dewhurst, co-founder of the Glass Whiteboard Company and Bowlphish Glass Services, all part of the Bowlphish Group. We're proud to sponsor TEDx Folkestone, which was the inspiration for the show, as we delve into and uncover business ideas worth spreading. Seeing as the show was inspired by TEDx Folkestone, it's only right that we launch our first show with an interview with a member of their team. Welcome to the show, James Avery.
Thank you very much.
So James, tell us about TED.
Okay, so TED is a huge organisation, been around since the early 80s. It's about sharing ideas. It's a non-for-profit. TED essentially is short talks, less than 18 minutes, and now pretty much cover any topic there is. The TED stands for technology, entertainment, and design, but now the topics are vast. Things you couldn't even imagine back in the 80s are now being talked about, and that's a synopsis of the big organisation. Yeah.
So do you know when TED originally started?
1984. It was a British guy, Chris Anderson, and again it's about ideas, which is why this show, is a perfect show to talk about it, because it's about coming up with an idea that it's such a good idea, or certainly to the person who's given that talk, that they want to tell everybody, they want to shout about it.
What's your role in TEDx Folkestone?
Right, my role is I'm in charge of sponsorship and the budget, which comes hand in hand with sponsorship. So I guess a relationship manager for TEDx and the sponsors that come on board, like yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So is it your full-time job?
It's not. No, it's bigger than my full-time job. It's an extracurricular activity, but it's
you find these things that generally you effectively volunteer for, they kind of take up.
Sound like a good idea at the time, but
a lot more time.
But lucky I enjoy it so much that it doesn't feel like work.
That's good. I like that.
It's good.
So what's the idea that started TEDx Folkestone?
Okay, so TEDx Folkestone began in this building. So my day job is I run a business centre. We have lots of cool. This isn't a plug, by the way.
What's the? Where are we? You might say.
So I might as well say, thanks for the prompt.
That's right.
So we're in the workshop in Tonton Street, and one of the ideas of this building was to come up with, for people to meet, for entrepreneurs to come and share ideas, and that's exactly what happens. It creates that environment. And I was talking with Lou Batchelor about, she actually called me and asked me to come into the meeting room and talk about an idea she had, and mentioned TEDx Folkestone, and talked 5 to 10 minutes about her idea and her passion behind that idea, and I said yes. So that was all she needed then to go and bring it to what it is now, which we're in our second year.
That's amazing. I like that. So I think you might just answer this question, but I'm going to ask you again anyway. Why did you choose to get involved?
No, I suppose I chose to be involved because I think, one, that's what my day job's about, trying to, help people share ideas. But this whole Folkestone is a town that could be, it's great, but it could be even better. And I think the regeneration project that's going on works hand in hand with what TEDx Folkestone can do. So TEDx Folkestone brings a different audience down to the town, and also, small things that, the fact that some of the speakers that come down there are really interesting people. They've never been here before, some of these guys. So it's bringing different people to the area, and TEDx brings a massive vibrancy to the town. And I guess all of those things combined made me think, this is something I want to be involved in.
Yeah, well, as you said earlier, we was involved in last year's TEDx.
It's
quite amazing. If I was honest, I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
Or really, kind of what it was about.
Yeah.
But once it happened, and it was kind of like, I really enjoyed it. So we're really.
That's it. I think that happens with a lot of our sponsors. They've heard of TED, the brand.
Yeah.
So TEDx they know is related, and like I said, TEDx, to go into a bit more detail, is like a franchise of TED.
Yeah.
It's a locally organised event by volunteers. It's non-for-profit as well. And like you said, it's and again, without jumping ahead, it might be another question you have. But in terms of talking to someone like yourself, a sponsor, I had to sort of sell a little bit of what TEDx is to give you a flavour. But until we had the event itself, I knew you couldn't really get it until you're there.
You did a good job because you hooked us in, and we're back again this year.
That's true. Yeah, proof's in the pudding, I guess.
Yeah, perfect. So, what have been kind of like the obstacles that you faced during the organisation, and even on the day?
Yeah, I mean the day ran really well, which is great. But the obstacles along the way, the team itself, we had a small team last year. This year we have a huge team. So obstacles were time. The fact that none of us had ran a TEDx, only a couple of members of the team had been to an actual event. We all seen it, the TED video clearly, and that's why we were involved. But so an obstacle was that sort of greenness, that naivety, so there was a fear. Maybe that's why this year is courage to step beyond. But last year was pushing the boundaries, which went again in terms of what Folkestone's about, trying to get to that next level.
Yeah.
But
I think fear sometimes is a good driver, isn't
it,
of motivating people to get things right, and just it does help. I think, bring everything together.
Absolutely. I like it. That added to the excitement of it, and goes back to why we're involved. We were hooked. The more we got involved, it was a great opportunity to work with a small team. But again, so the great thing was we had a great team, so that wasn't an obstacle in itself. But having the coming across issues as they come, rules. The TEDx rules are they're actually not that complicated, but you still need to know it. And like I said, being a volunteer, you haven't got time to revise them. So it was typically, we've come across this. Right? Do we need to actually email TED, or is there something in the rules with sponsorship what you can and can't tweet? That's something we came across.
Yeah, I know we was a little bit worried. Not worried, but it was kind of like it did feel a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going to happen if we did the wrong thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But you kind of like, it was as if you were going to go to prison, maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
For like tweeting the wrong.
Yeah, that's it. And because we were new, we didn't want to. It was our first license, so we felt we had something to prove as well. And I think that's probably why what probably came from us was a little bit of tentative. Whereas now this year I'm laid back and like, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. That's great. But last year you probably felt a lot of that.
Yeah, I did feel the tension.
But in terms of how you overcome it, like you said, this year, we put together a fact sheet which is on its way over, and I think that will allow. For yourself, you've got have a team member to sort of promote your involvement and all the cool things you're doing, and how you're involved with the boards, and how they're going to be used on the day to inspire conversations within the breakout sessions. I think that would be really good this year.
I think it's good because I think people like to communicate, and sometimes it's good to communicate visually, as well as talking, which is what our products kind of like all about. So,
yeah, definitely.
So that's good. And with the fear factor, again, back to the fear factor, it's kind of like you say, on the day you still don't know whether everything's going to go right, do you? So you've got that. But it kind of like, and it's like everything, isn't it, that you try, you get to a point where there's no return, isn't it? And you've got to do it, and you're just kind of in it.
Absolutely,
and, I think 9 times out of 10 things work out, don't they? And if for whatever reason it doesn't work out, you just got to look at what didn't work. Yeah. And then you get opportunities to either revamp or redo things in it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, we had, we concentrated on getting good speakers in. Yeah. And that is essentially the event.
The speakers were amazing. Yeah.
And they were, so that was great. I mean, because you obviously as an audience.
Again, you don't know, I didn't know what to expect or but people from all different areas of life and business and just general stuff they did in their day-to-day lives.
That's right. There was a couple of journey stories. I know we talked about stories we quite liked. How someone felt weird and and that was a really passionate talk. But some of the guys that came in were professional speakers, and they had to learn it all again, like how to deliver a TED talk, which was quite cool. So it was it's a bit of a journey for them as well.
I guess one of the other testing things now is you always need to try and make it bigger and better than the previous year. So I guess you kind of like year one, you don't want to make it too good because you then got to step it out. So it's I think you've got a big task to hand this year, because last year was like, from watching from the outside in, it seemed seamless.
Okay, that's
which
good.
Probably in the background, because I know like all businesses and there's kind of like usually chaos going on in the background in there, but from the front it all looks.
No, that's good. And we talked about that actually, because we didn't want to be you know, we didn't want to relax too much this year, because last year the reason why it was so similar was because of that fear, because we were like, you know, we probably overthought things where perhaps other TEDx events maybe don't think about those sort of things. So this year, you know, a couple of times I've been like, oh, we did that last year, but there could be, you know, seating plan, you know, seating plan on day, where are sponsors going to sit, you know, where are the audience going to sit, where are the cameras going to be placed. So that's something that's been, you know, in our mind for this year, but it will be bigger and better. I mean, we're looking for different camera angles this year, so we're looking to try and have a central camera, which, you know, we should come across even better when we're reviewing the films on YouTube, and the way the audience is sat maybe looks a little bit. I think the speaker will fill the audience a bit more this year, because they'll be a little bit closer. There'll be a stage. So, you know, that's going to be bigger and better this year.
Don't give too much away.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, a quick question on the. So obviously, there's other areas that, you know, this is TEDx Folkestone. Yeah. You've got other areas. Is it? Does it become like a competition between? Do you get scores on? You know, our TEDx Folkestone scored, you know, I don't know, 1 to 10, and then, you know, whoever else is doing it, also scored 1 to 10. Everyone's kind of obviously trying to get 10s.
Right, it couldn't help. You know, we can't help having an opinion on the other TEDx, but they are all fab, because the people that come forward for TEDx are attracted to the brand. You get some great talks and some great ideas. However, you're right. Some will run differently. There is definitely a competition. You know, we feel a bit of competition in Kent. There's not many TEDx's in Kent. I'm not going to name any other, because I don't want to promote them. But there are other TEDx, and I think there is competition. There is a score. And last year we scored very highly. Yeah. Don't ask me what it is, because I can't remember. But we scored very highly, but everything into the experience. I mean, the people that fill in the survey are people that attended on the day, so they'll be scoring on some things, even like the food. You know, how was the food on the day and things like that. So we had to think about everything, and we did very well. Like I said, we've really set a big, you know, high precedent for this year. So.
That's good. So James, have you got an idea that was the most memorable, or had the most significant impact on TEDx Folkestone so far?
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a few ideas that we had. One from picking a compare, for example. We, you know, do you have a professional compare come in? You know, do we take a famous member of the public? Well, we went with someone who's great. He did a little bit of radio through the academy, and was very natural, but not professional. You know, confident guy, and it felt real. You know, and he was really amiable with the.
He was good. I remember it, because he was he was quite funny as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He got more confident,
and he got a little bit heckled as well, didn't he? I think. And,
that's it.
It was.
You know, but because he wasn't a pro, I think you can see his own journey through the day. As a comp, I mean, he'd never done it before.
No,
you know?
I didn't know that he didn't. You know, it wasn't his thing.
Ah, right, okay, cool. No, that's good. And then I kept putting him on the spot, because as the day went on, I thought, I'm going to get some shout outs. So I was like, you know, right, let them know the photographer's taken 1,000 photos, you know, and he put his own little spin on it, and like he said, his own little joke, which were all terrible, you know.
They were bad jokes.
But so bad they were good. So that was cool. And, you know, like you said, an idea from the group, which was like our secret ending, because it is about, although it wasn't going to be filmed, a performance at the end, which I think threw everybody, which was great. Gave us a really energetic end to the event, which was a dance, for a Nepalese dance, and that was good for the experience of the people there. That was almost like you were here, only you experienced that, and you definitely experienced. You know, jumped up.
It was. Like I said, it was a.
Did you jump up?
I did jump up. Well, I had to jump up. It was different. I did it. I enjoyed it in a weird sort of way.
Yeah. Okay. So, that's cool. Well, you know, we might have a surprise this year. And again, that idea hasn't come up yet. But we might do something this year as well.
I look forward to that.
Yeah. Cool. So
Good. Okay. So, what ideas are you currently working on with the TEDx Folkestone?
Cool. I guess I probably answered a bit of this already, but and again, you know, you called me for giving too much away, so I've got to be careful the way I answer it. You're absolutely right to do that. But you know, we want to. Again, we're very lucky to have a brilliant sponsor with the camera footage. Hacks Media last year, who did a cracking job. We've got Prisma this year, and they have got the spec to try and make it as professional as possible, whilst reminding everyone that this is a local event. We're not trying to pretend to be TED. We want to, but we do want the speakers to have the best opportunity to come across as well as possible, and also to feel a bit of the crowd audience.
Yeah.
So editing is one thing, and you know, the selection of speakers are fab. Again, it really fits with the theme, courage. There'll be some of the ideas which we haven't finalised yet are going to be around how we position the talks during the day. That's always quite fun because everyone has different opinion, like everyone has different opinion on what talks go through, but the day has to have its own journey, and you know what I mean, like certain talks couldn't sit next to each other. But
do the speakers ever change their talks? They like present one to you, and that's how they get in. Are they allowed to change? Yeah,
one or two did. We asked people to not do that if possible, but of course they're gonna, it's their talk, and we respect that they're gonna make changes. We ask for a final script before rehearsal, and we have a rehearsal the day before. So I guess perhaps when they've actually rehearsed the day before with the cameras on them, that's the most real day they're gonna get as an experience. I bet. Well, what happened last year? A couple of people thought, I need to make a last-minute tweet, which is fine. So they do. I mean, we had one performer last year, Randolph Matthews.
Yeah,
if you remember.
Yeah.
He was their only performance piece within the.
That
actual,
was the guy that sang the names, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So that was ad lib. Where he picked a member of the audience, but it was ad lib, but it wasn't. So he had a structure, but as a performer, he had his own little twist it could change for him on the day. Clearly, the name of the person would be different. You didn't know who was going to be there. No. So that changed last minute. The speakers generally are really well rehearsed because they're so, some of the guys, even the most confident speakers, because it's TED, they are so worried about getting it wrong. Some of them, but I wouldn't think.
I guess it's their kind of it's their big moment, isn't it?
Yeah, you probably only ever do one. And we hope that's the idea. It's what is your biggest idea?
And it kind of like for them, it could potentially be a life-changing moment that launches. If it's about launching, because some people are there to promote ideas, aren't they? As in launch ideas, but other people are just there to put messages across, I guess, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or it's something they're passionate about. So it's not necessarily about launching them, but it's about launching what they believe in.
I think so. I think it's natural that some of the speakers will have the business that they're in is also their idea. If they don't come, and it's quite good because one of the very early, we have a lot of workshops that we do, which is what we do in terms of competition with other TEDx. A lot of TEDx don't do this. We have the speakers come on board. No matter how professional or used to speaking they are, like you said, TED is a different type of delivery. So that's something we do differently is workshops, and you get to see that actually some of the guys are quite.
So the workshops, is that just for the people that have got through to TEDx, or is it something that goes before? Is that something that helps choose the speakers?
Both actually, both. One of the things. It's a really good point. So coming back to the competition question, all of this competition's coming out now, but it's about people that didn't get through as well, because a couple of the talkers that got through this year actually applied last year. And their idea is slightly different or has been tweaked. But the workshop is for everybody. It's for people to develop their own ideas.
That's good.
And also with the regeneration part of TEDx, we hope that other things will prompt from this. There's opportunities for open mic, but not singing. Unless you're Randolph Matthews. But for speaking your idea, we've got lots of ideas. Funny enough. But they, some I know are going to happen now because we've had that momentum from last year, where it involves, like I say, everybody. But to answer your question, Sean, the speakers do go through a series of have the opportunity to force them to come along to them. But they have the opportunity to talk about, for example, Catherine, who spoke last year, has something called the Palace Technique, and she's going to do a workshop on a way of memorising a talk. She can still remember her talk now, year on,
really?
word for word, because of this technique. And some of the speakers might have their own technique, but it's an opportunity for them to go, actually, I'm going to use that.
I think I might need to meet her. Okay, that's good. Thanks, James. All right, I've got some quickfire questions. You up for some quickfire questions?
Yeah, okay, I'll try.
All right, so how do you come up with ideas?
I don't, normally pop into my head, certainly within the process, pop into my head. I don't know, there's probably like a scientific answer, but
that's good.
But
that is on my wavelength. listening to you. When should we share our ideas?
Well, that's debatable. I think you should think about your idea and then share it. Some of the other committee members, I'll just go for it, which I also think is a great idea.
Yeah.
So everyone's different, but I think it's good to air it as well, and then get some feedback straight away. Whereas I'm a bit more reserved. I'm like, should I share that idea yet? No, I need to think about this first.
I like it. Right, what's a silly, crazy idea you've had in the past which didn't work?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. Silly, crazy idea. See, I think about my ideas, so I don't, they never come out, so I can't share that with you. I might think of one in a minute.
All right, I'll come back to that.
All right.
Do you have a big or ambitious idea for the future?
Yeah, I think TEDx could. Keeping up with TEDx, obviously, which I'm sure is why you're asking it, is that it could go. Some of the TEDx are huge now. I'm from Bristol, and TEDx Bristol's big.
So you can go bigger from where you are now.
Yeah, we could.
There's the options. Do you have to? Is there criteria to make that?
There is criteria. Yeah, there's a series of steps you have to meet. But the idea is you gain experience by running lots of TEDx's. There'll be things learns we're going to gain from this year for next year. We don't know they're going to be there yet. So to be bigger and better. I think that's to big venue, charge what you like for tickets. No. But but what's interesting, I think the speakers will still be. I don't think the size of the day would affect the speakers we picked. These speakers could speak at a bigger event.
Quick question on speakers.
Yeah.
Where can the speakers come from? Do they have to be local people? Can they just apply from anywhere?
That's a good question. They could apply from anywhere. We've actually got a few people from London. We try to keep it local if we can, but we do prioritise the idea. That's the priority.
So it's more about the idea as opposed to where location.
Yes, absolutely.
Ideally,
yeah.
Ideally,
yeah. And but this year, it's interesting. There are a lot of good ideas in Kent because last year and this year we've got a lot of Kent people. So even though we open our minds to different areas, it does come back to local. So that's good to know.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the hardest thing about ideas?
I think I'll give an example then about sharing them. I think everyone's different, and I'm quite nervous to share mine. But it's a really interesting point. It's a good question because when we were at one of the speaker workshops recently, some of the guys. It's interesting how many of the speakers who on the day you probably thought were uber confident are actually quite shy, and a lot of the speakers have had ideas for years, and a TED brand has enabled them to then go on and share it.
So I guess there's nothing really like TEDx where you get the opportunity. No. But I guess the internet nowadays you can get stuff on there, but you still got to be seen, haven't you?
That's right.
It's no good putting something out there.
Exactly. Yeah, you got with the brand. It helps you get to have that platform.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I think Ted's definitely done that for us. Like you say, brought people out of their shares. And I think some of the hardest things about an idea, having to share your idea, is the reaction and what will happen with TED, and what we remind the applicants if they weren't aware enough already is that they are going to get potentially some of the talks as well this year. I wouldn't say controversial, but they're very thought-provoking, and we prep our speakers to say, look, you're going to get a mixed response, to this, which is good. But that's
Okay. That's good. So, what's the best way to communicate ideas?
There's so many ways. I mean, visual. You touched on visual today. It's a great means of communication, and I think you can't get much more visual than TEDx. It's all about delivery. Again, going back to our workshops, Randolph Matthews made a really good point about the experience for the listener or watcher is half of it, if not most of it, is body language. In terms of delivery. So how comfortable the speaker is. The message then comes after what you're saying. Visual is what I guess been a theme of what we've been talking about today, and I think that is the way to. Perfect. Just the way we promote it. Yeah.
So, what's an idea you wish you'd come up with?
Well, I mean, I guess, somebody obviously I like the idea of having the dance at the end last year. Small ideas, which I thought were great ideas. Randolph, I mentioned Randolph a lot today. Obviously, made a big impact last year. We had him on in terms of the running order straight after lunch, which was great. So we've all eaten, which was great as per feedback.
Food was good.
Food was good. And but we had a lot of it, so we were all a bit lethargic, sat in our chairs, and then Randolph comes out and does something that was very different to the others. So it was a good idea.
I guess with all organising it as well, you've got to think of who's going where, and what is the best spot for a TEDx? Is there a best spot, or is it?
I know what the speakers will think is the best spot, and they'll be squabbling over getting out of the way early.
The first one.
The more confident speakers might want to finish with a big bang. But I think
is the final speaker chosen specifically, or is it just that's kind of like it fits in that order?
It's such a matrix, it's such a formula, because now we've got 11 talks at the moment, and the way we don't have a final running order yet, but we can almost, last year you probably didn't notice it, maybe you did, but there's a subtle underlying theme. The theme was pushing the boundaries, but there is a theme to each section. So you might have a couple of people. I mean, we had 2 talks last year about the crisis, the global crisis, and change, climate, and they're purposely kept apart. In this case, so there's lots of little factors, and we kept them apart because they're naturally comparable. But we tried to put them in different sections.
And those 2 speakers were different.
Very different delivery.
One was very calm.
Yes.
The other one was not. He wasn't calm, but he was quite full on, wasn't he?
So passionate, about his idea. So
I felt like my hair was blowing when he was talking.
Yeah, that's good, because I know he was going for that. Yeah, he was aiming for that. Yeah, and actually, when we met again, we had something else we do. Is after the.
I was a bit scared to meet him.
They're all like celebs after, aren't they?
Yeah.
But we met. We have like a Q&A, a debrief, where all of our speakers will meet. And this is another thing we do different to other TEDx's.
Don't give too much away.
No, that's fine. We did it.
They
want
to be on it now.
Well, they get an opportunity to have a Q&A. We run it in various places, trying to spread it around Folkestone. And Simon Coleman, who was really passionate about his topic. You could see, just watching it again, he was really passionate. It all came back to him, which is great.
Was he a little bit emotional?
Yeah.
It was a little bit.
Yeah.
I felt emotional for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, a lot of the speakers are, but it's their one talk, isn't it? They are super passionate about what they do. I think even with the amount of times they rehearse it, you'd think they probably lose a little bit of that emotion, almost attach themselves. But I think when on the day, they know this is it. You can feel it. I
think they were all amazing, but he stood out. He didn't want to miss his opportunity.
Yeah.
It was like he knew it was kind of like his one and only chance to.
Absolutely. And this year, like you say, again, we've got some great talks, and it's going to be interesting to see which one. And everybody's different. Well, I've spoken to so many people about it, and each of the committee have their own opinion on the day. Everyone's favourite talk is different, and it's hit them in a different way. And the way, like you say, when we break out and we're using boards and people are sticking up their ideas and their thoughts, what's your thought in one word, it's just totally different how it's affected people. Again, power of TEDx.
Definitely. Perfect. So what was your favourite TED talk? I think you might have answered this, but you're going to have to answer it again.
Well, I had a few actually, but because you've asked me, I'm not going to bottle it.
Yeah, go on. Just do it.
No, mine is Emily Peasgood.
Yeah, she was
about
hilarious.
I can't remember her actual title, but what was about for me was she had felt like she was weird, and as an outcast all these years, and it's okay to be different. Yeah. And then when the way she delivered it was absolutely fantastic. It was a performance, really. Yeah. And then she, as she went through the story, it was, what's going to happen next. And then at the end, when she delivered everything she's achieved in a short space of time, herself being told not to do something, then going, I'm going to do it. And what she'd achieved, was like incredible. And I think that was the only time I'd seen people actually visibly a few tears in the audience, visibly moved by it. Yeah, that was good. And that was just before lunch. There you go. So that was really thought-provoking. There is a theory in where they're placed, because it was a very thought-provoking talk that then made you think about all of the other.
Who gets to choose what order they're going, or is it like a communal? Discussion.
I don't know, but we've never had a position where we've had to. It's always been collaborative. It almost sounds like I'm making it up. Like we just everyone just agrees.
Impossible,
it's impossible.
Yeah.
But it just happens. Like, everyone's got some strong personalities in a committee, but we've never really disagreed. Even with the speakers this year, it sort of, there wasn't like an assumptive close. There was, right, we've got, okay, that's our list. It just sort of happened. Everyone voted.
Why do you think? Why is that? What is it? What's different with? I mean, if it's in a business, you've always got somebody kind of wants to have the overall control.
Yeah, that's true.
The final say in it, but
because it is a bit like a business.
With the TEDx, or from what you're saying, it's kind of like everyone's just happy to. Perhaps everyone's just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, and, I think it's, I think because no one owns it.
Yeah.
There's no hierarchy. That might help because we're all on an even par, and we've all got each other's back. And again, I don't want to make it sound like it's not, because it really is like that. But I think because everyone's even. Liu's the license holder. Liu, I guess, is like a chair of the group. Yeah. But there's no, I guess Liu probably have the final say on certain things. Yeah. But with order, I think it will just all come together, and there'll be a lot of theory. And because we explain why we, you often go, again, that was a good idea. Yeah.
I guess it's that all the people as well. They're all coming from different backgrounds, different experiences. So a lot of people are bringing different ideas.
Yeah.
That, I like listening to other people.
Yeah.
And getting ideas from other people, because it's, they've experienced something you haven't experienced, I guess. So if everyone's kind of bringing it in from different backgrounds, maybe that's what makes it work. Yeah. Because they're, not everybody's got the same experience.
Yeah, so, I think that's probably something in that, because there's a real mix. I'm not particularly from a marketing background, but there's a few marketing people, and it's things I've not heard before. I might probably say, come up with ideas and suggestions other people haven't thought of. So probably keeps you on your toes in that way.
Nice. Okay, right. This is a good one. If you were to do a TED talk, what idea would you share?
One of my interests is space, but there's a bit of a joke in the team because I'm always late for meetings. Okay, so
I've noticed.
No, I haven't noticed. No, cool. So I've got this idea that I would talk about being late. I'd even walk on the stage late as my intro.
Oh, perfect.
But so I'd probably talk about that and the psychology behind it. Because I'm super organised. Yeah. So why am I always late? It's like, what's the barriers? And then you start getting deep, and you're like, oh, there's a TED talk in that. So
it's good. I like it. Okay, James, it's been great chatting to you, and hearing the work at TEDx Folkestone. So viewers, if you want to find out more information about TEDx Folkestone, what should they do?
They can log on to www.tedxfolkstone.com. I think it's .com. And it's there's contact form on there. We can also, there's an email address on there as well. hello@tedxfolkstone.com again. Yes, cool. I'm just convincing myself. Yeah, so contact us that way. But we are on social media outlets: Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Any questions? There's a lot of social activity between now and the event, but it will also continue after. There will be follow-up events, etc. So keep your eyes peeled.
Perfect. And have you got any last words or shout-outs that you want to do?
Tickets go on sale on Sunday. I'm not sure when this goes out. So at 10 a.m.
Where do they go on sale?
They go on sale on the Coulter House website.
Right. Okay.
So make sure you get tickets. 100 tickets. They're £15. And if not, if you don't get a ticket, all TEDx videos will be uploaded within a very quick time frame. So there'll be an opportunity to watch every talk. So that's the great thing. Everybody gets an opportunity to watch it.
Perfect. Nice one. Okay. Thanks, James.
Thanks a lot, Aaron.
And
cheers.
Goodbye.
Bye.